This podcast is rated E for everyone. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Xbox Zone. I know that I've kind of taken the fall off. I went traveling for a few months. If you follow my other podcasts, you already know that I've, been traveling, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to play games, especially on the go. Sadly, for Xbox, that's not always possible unless you have a pretty skookum PC. But regardless, I'm back. It is the end of the year. It is the end of 2018, and the coming year, 2019, promises lots of opportunity for our big black console. Pretty excited for that. But before we get into any of that sort of stuff, why don't we start with what's happened over the course of fall? The last 2 months have seen some pretty big releases. All the heavy hitters have come out in the fall and early winter for the Xbox One. Not too many console exclusives, however, but there's been some really big third-party releases. The biggest of which, at least in my opinion, is Red Dead Redemption 2. This game is massive, and you can look forward to my review of that somewhere down the line. I'm dying to dig into it. I have the game. I haven't quite played it yet. I also have Madden, which I will be playing first and doing a review for that in the coming year. The fall also saw the annual release of a Call of Duty game. This time it was COD Blops. This is a game that comes out every year. You can count on it. It's always going to be there. But I kind of feel that at this point there's a little bit of series fatigue. It's just the same thing over and over and over again. It's like, ooh, yay, zombies, whatever. But I think, especially compared to its competitor, Battlefield, which also came out over the last few months, it's really lacking. I think Battlefield is really starting to hit its stride. Battlefield 1 was amazing, and this new one, Battlefield 5, is a real return to form. And I think in terms of the two games, Battlefield 5 is probably the better of the two. However, they both pale in comparison to Rockstar's offering Red Dead Redemption 2, which also has a nice online component that people I know are having some fun in. Maybe there will be a surprise announcement of a GTA 6 next year. That would be nice. Although GTA Online is still alive and strong, and it got a bunch of updates this fall as well. Speaking of first-party titles, it would have been really nice to have Crackdown come out over the holiday season. Probably would have filled a nice stopgap, especially while we wait for a bunch of other first-party titles that were announced at E3. I guess for 2019, we're just going to have to wait because there are a bunch of games coming in 2019, including a new Gears of War. There's rumored to be a Fable reboot, as well as a new Forza Horizon game. Not to mention new games from Rare. I'm sure there will be updates for Sea of Thieves, and of course, Battletoads was teased at E3, and I know a lot of people are looking forward to that, myself included. The Montreal-based studio, Go Canada, that recently shipped the We Happy Few is working on an unnamed project as well. So sadly, 2018 wasn't the best for first-party games. We had Forza Horizon. We had We Happy Few. There was a Gears game, but at the end, there wasn't a whole lot, especially compared to Microsoft's competitors. I know Sony had a lot of first-party titles, and of course Nintendo had them just pumping out this year. Moving on with more news, there was a retailer that sadly leaked Kingdom Hearts 3 6 weeks before it was to release. Kingdom Hearts 3 is not console exclusive. It is coming out for both the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. It's not immediately clear how the leak got out there, but there are copies of the game in the wild and people are playing them. Square Enix had the following to say. We're aware that a small portion of Kingdom Hearts 3 has been circulating online before its official release. We are also aware as to how this all happened. Oh, I'm sorry, I had that wrong. We're sorry to see this cause concern amongst our fans who are excited for the release. The whole team has been working together since yesterday night, Japan time, to investigate what we can do better this situation. But first, we would like to ask that you do not share these videos. The game's epilogue and secret movie, which are the biggest spoilers in this game, are planned to be released at a later date, just in case. So they will not be shown before the game's release. We want everyone to be able to equally experience the full game after its release, so we ask for your continued support on this matter. We are also very grateful that our fans have been warning each other already about the spoilers. Thank you very much. We're 1 month out from release. Let's enjoy the game together when it releases on January 29th, 2019. So while there are videos of the game out there, Square Enix is aware, apparently, and are trying to take it down, but it's nice that the most spoilery parts of the game are not yet there. This winter, we saw the Xbox One move a little closer to its PC brothers. The Xbox One got an official release of a keyboard and mouse for the console, which means console shooters will now be able to be very close with their PC brethren. So whether you're playing Overwatch on your Xbox One or PC, it looks like the experience is going to be largely the same, which is nice because it levels the playing field for everybody. Another nice bit of news from first party is that 343 Industries has recently announced some new features coming to Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite, of course, is Halo 6, and I assume the last part of this Master Chief story. I don't know if they're going to move forward or back in time, because we have actually no idea what Halo Infinite looks like. But 343 has confirmed that Halo Infinite will have 4-player split-screen modes. It wasn't officially confirmed until now. If you guys remember, Halo 5 Guardians did not have the classic split-screen multiplayer. You had to play online or try and do a LAN party. Some other new features for Halo Infinite have also been detailed, and that includes the addition of black undersuits, which is specifically stated as all of the parts of armor that are not metal pieces. So that would be a graphical or art department type of thing. Halo Infinite will also have some sort of player customization. So speaking of, user-created skins, kind of along the lines of the black undersuits. So there's been a lot of graphical tweaks and user customization added to this game, and 343 has also said that PC players will be treated as first-class citizens this time around, as in the past the PC games, or versions of the games I should say, have been fairly borked at launch, so hopefully they get it right this time. I know that the folks over at 343 have stated that they are listening to fan feedback this time around because they feel that since Halo 3, especially like Halo 4 and to some extent Halo 5, they haven't really, taken care of the Halo universe. However, they have been listening to fan feedback this time around and have made massive improvements to the game. They haven't announced all of them quite yet, although they have stated that they want nothing to do with a Battle Royale mode. Of course, that can always change. That could just be deflection. We don't honestly know. And for this last bit of news, we might as well queue up Sir Mix-a-Lot, because my anaconda don't. You get the idea. The next generation of Xbox consoles are reportedly codenamed Anaconda and Lockhart. I guess this would be similar to the Xbox One X and the Xbox One S. I don't know how I feel about this. I kind of liked the iterative kind of console jumps, like the Xbox One to the Xbox One X. I thought that was a better move for the consumer. I don't really feel that at this point there's a whole lot they can do to push console gaming forward. Technology is kind of at its peak currently, and the Xbox One X, especially since it's still, relatively new, only a couple years old, it doesn't really need to be expanded on. It already pushes some serious polygons. It's got native 4K and I guess maybe a lack of virtual reality support, but like who really cares about VR? It's not exactly the next technological jump that everyone thought it was going to be so far. So I kind of thought that the Xbox One X is going to be around for at least another few years, although they don't really mention anything about a release date for Anaconda or Lockhart or whatever they end up being called. The the rumor is 2020, but of course nothing is confirmed. I'm hoping it's not like a whole new console generation. I really do hope that it's an iterative thing. We don't really need a PS5. We don't need an Xbox, whatever they call it. It's just I feel we're at peak right now until some next major technological breakthrough. So this news is kind of sad in my mind. I mean, what do you guys think? Are you guys sick of current generation consoles? Do you want something more? How much better could it honestly be? I mean, at this point, all they can really do is make it faster and give you a bigger hard drive. Maybe push some extra polygons, but everything's already so photorealistic. How much more realistic does it really have to be? Let me know in the comments below. Alright, well, we've reached the point in the show where I would normally be doing a game review. However, as it is the end of 2018 and soon to be 2019, I thought it'd be fun if I took a little bit of time instead of doing a game review, although you can look forward to more reviews in the coming year. Instead of doing a game review, taking a look back at Microsoft's 2018, its successes, its pitfalls, delays, all the good stuff and the bad. And yeah, so why don't we just get right into Microsoft's 2018 year in review. Xbox's 2018 was kind of lackluster. They didn't have quite the year that the Nintendo Switch or the PlayStation 4 enjoyed. There was a lack of like first party titles, I guess you'd say first party exclusives. We got a few, but not enough to really move the needle a whole lot. Nintendo or Microsoft really won this year on the backs of their independent developer partnerships as well as some third-party developers. Not to mention that they really expanded on their host of online services that actually, let's be honest, Microsoft is the best at. PlayStation Plus, Switch Online, just not as good as Xbox Live. Kicking off 2018 for the Xbox was the wonderful indie title Celeste, which also came to the Switch, followed up by a must-have Monster Hunter World. In March, we saw the first of a select few first-party exclusives. A game that's actually quite wonderful and a lot of fun to play online with friends and strangers. It causes a lot of mayhem, and that game is Sea of Thieves. The folks at Rare released this in March, and since then have released quite a few free updates and have made the game quite enjoyable, not to mention that the ocean looks absolutely beautiful on an Xbox One X. Followed by Pit People, which again was an indie title. In May, we got another first-party exclusive, State of Decay 2, which, same as Sea of Thieves, a bit of a rough launch, but with some updates through the course of the year has become quite an awesome game. Microsoft's year was pretty light up until October. They had a really busy October from both third-party and a little bit first-party. Third-party developers came out strong in October, I guess getting ready for the holiday season. We got a brand new COD Blops, as well as the Assassin's Creed Odyssey game. I still don't like that name. I think they ripped off Nintendo, but that's fine. The biggest release probably in October and probably for the entire fall season for Microsoft was, of course, Red Dead Redemption 2, which, if you happen to be playing on Xbox One, and you probably are if you're listening to this, just looks so unbelievably good. The first party release for October, which also looks absolutely stunning in 4K, is Forza Horizon 4. The seasons look so unbelievably real. It is a really, really fun game, a really good racing game. The online is stable, and as I mentioned, it looks absolutely gorgeous. November, we saw Battlefield 5, which, if you're a shooter fan, in my opinion, is probably the best shooter to come out on the Xbox this year. And this month, just recently, we had another indie title called Below, which some people are kind of calling 2018's Cuphead. So, I mean, fingers crossed. Microsoft did score a couple exclusives away from Sony this year. One in April, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. One in June, Nier Automata. And one in July, No Man's Sky. And when No Man's Sky launched in July on the Xbox One, it also launched with an actual full multiplayer mode. So that's pretty good. It's a pretty good win for Xbox on that front, because up until that point, that game was a little boring, kind of a grind. I bought it on PC when it first came out, and I'm pretty excited to see it on Xbox One, especially with multiplayer integration. And I mean, that was kind of it for Microsoft's 2018. Like I said, pretty light on the first party and console exclusives. There really was only 3 for the whole year. A bit of a win, taking some titles away from Sony, but for the most part, it was the indie and third-party developers that really carried Microsoft through 2018. They did do some pretty awesome updates, and like I said, additions to their online services, which is really where Microsoft shined and has shined in the last 2 years. E3, we got some hints at what's coming down the pipe in 2019. It's really too bad Crackdown didn't make it for this year. I think that really would have helped kind of bolster the lack of first-party titles. But we're going to get it early next year. Fingers crossed for a brand new Halo next year. It doesn't get pushed or anything like that. And also, another thing with hardware, Microsoft has kind of really won that this year. I mean, yes, the Switch is sold like hotcakes, but the Xbox One X really is the best place to play games. If you are playing Red Dead Redemption or COD Blops or Ascree Odyssey or even Battlefield 5, it really, honestly and truly does look and play better on an Xbox One. So they at least have that going for them. However, I mean, if I had to score Xbox's 2018, a B minus, C plus probably. It's really hard to compete with God of War, Spider-Man, Pokemon Let's Go, and of course Smash. Forza is good, and Sea of Thieves is so much fun, but it wasn't enough to really, as I mentioned, like move the needle for Xbox. So let's hope that 2019 is a little bit better. I'm looking forward to those exclusives coming in 2019, and of course the third-party titles that do honestly look better and play better on the Xbox One. Well, that's it for another episode of the Xbox Zone, and not to mention 2018. I'm looking forward to 2019, and I hope you guys are as well. I wish you all a very happy and safe New Year's, and looking forward to 2019. I don't know if you guys make resolutions, but if you do, I hope you guys complete them and you have a wonderful year. And I also hope that we have a wonderful year in gaming. If you like this, please do remember to subscribe and turn on that bell for notifications. I do have other content, and there will be more reviews and other content coming to this channel. You can also find me on Twitter at tunaent_official. That's the number 2 NAENT_official. I'm also on Patreon, patreon.com/tunaentertainment, and my website, tunaentertainment.com. Until next year, have a wonderful and safe new year, and let's keep gaming. Hello? Is this thing on?